Hello everyone, it's Juliet here, and here I am still in Israel, and it's actually quite a cold day. I sat outside for my lunch on this deck where I was speaking to you yesterday, and I thought I'll come back out and share a little bit more. And huge clouds have gone over the sun, so it's feeling a bit chilly. Yeah, I just felt yesterday I wasn't able to share very much about what the retreat was about, and I wanted to be a little bit clearer about it. So I think the focus, although it's working with collective trauma, it's the focus of the retreat is on learning how to have transparent communications. So a lot of the exercises that we're doing are focused on how to really tune in at a deep level into our bodies and ourselves, noticing what our emotions are, noticing how we're feeling in our bodies with sensation, noticing what our thoughts are, and from having that map of ourselves, then be able to reach out and communicate with somebody else to really feel into what's happening with them, and in doing that, building a relationship. So transparent communication is the foundation of safe relationship, and the lack of a safe relationship, the lack of a safe relational field is one of the key elements, the key traumas that's besetting us on this planet. So the lack of a safe relational field. And Dr. Gabor Mate talks about attachment damage. And Dr. Bessel van der Kolk put together the diagnosis for developmental trauma, childhood trauma, and the I've forgotten the name of it. It worked on the test that I referred to earlier in earlier videos. It's gone out of my mind. So it's really relevant to every one of us. And it's really coming up for me in this workshop how many of us really suffer from wounding from that really earliest time in our lives, when there wasn't a safe holding, when there wasn't a clear relational field, and when we didn't feel secure. So it meant that it was very hard to embody, for our soul to embody into who we are, into what our mission was on planet Earth, or you know, what our will is, what our intention is in this earthly incarnation. And it's very hard to get a sense of what's my purpose here, what's life about, what is my life about, what am I wanting to do, how do I find my way forward, and how do I deal with the issues and the difficulties that come up to face me when often I'm feeling really insecure at this base level in myself. And this is particularly relevant at this time when we are totally beset with all kinds of challenges and difficulties on all sides. Wherever we look, we hear about awful situations happening. And it's kind of asking us to step up and change something. But how do we change something when we actually feel so completely overwhelmed within ourselves? I think every one of us are only too aware of what's coming up as we log on to Facebook, or we listen to the news or the radio, or we talk to friends. The degree of distress with the amount of violence in our society, the damage to the climate, the political structures, the lack of care, the overstretching of our health system. Any one of these particular issues are all parts and symptoms of the overall big issue of our lack of connection and the lack of safety. So what can we do about it? And for most of the time we can't do anything, or it feels like we can't do anything, and we feel really overwhelmed. So I think the number one step that we can do is just to witness for ourselves in this moment, when we are faced with this overwhelm, just notice the times when we do turn away and we can't handle something. It's like you don't have to force yourself to do something about it. It's just noticing the moment when you turn away or where you feel the overwhelm is really important. Just to be with yourself, to hold your own hand in this moment of like, this is too much for me. I don't know how to deal with it. And one of the rules in healing work is to heal at the first level of intimacy, the first circle. It's not about trying to heal somebody out there. It's not about trying to fix things for anyone else. Because until we've really done the work for ourselves, then we can't do that. We don't have the capacity to be able to handle the overwhelm when we're completely overwhelmed ourselves. So what do we do to heal from the overwhelm? Well, I think I've talked about this quite a lot in different videos about resourcing yourself, building safety, building connection where you can, building safe relationships where you can, getting some ground underneath us. For me, it's been about building building ground underneath my feet so I can begin to feel safer and to begin to find where I need to heal more deeply and where I can help other people. So, such a lot to share and so many very, very rich experiences being here. And the people that I'm meeting, people from many, many walks of life, many ages, people from all over the world, many different countries represented here. And it's really heartening to see how many people are actually on that path of self-healing. So I take a great deal of hope in that we can work together. And all of us can work together to build safe community. So this is the little pocket of work, as Thomas calls it, training he did recently, the Pocket Project. If we can create a pocket of consciousness where we live, that's a step towards healing our collective trauma. So if you can make a pocket of consciousness within myself, within yourself, within myself, within your community or within your family, that's the first step. And from out of that step, there are lots of ripples that begin to flow, and as soon as you do the work for yourself, then others around you start to heal. So I'm getting a bit chilly here. I wish the sun would come back. So I'm going to go inside and have a cup of tea because I like tea and I'm English. So let's spend a moment together, and just in this moment, and let's just notice where in our bodies we feel good. Where do we feel comfortable in this moment? Where do you feel comfortable? And just taking a breath together. And just knowing that you are good enough, just in the way that you are in this moment, just loving and accepting yourself as I seek to love and accept myself in all that I do. Just being with that possibility of self-love. So, bye for now. Be well. Take care of yourself.